Let's talk about reading. How did your reading go this year?
Very good, because I read quite a lot of books.
Do you have any idea how many books you read?
I checked out from the library 576 books.
Oh man. Did you read all those books?
I think so.
Well, I don't know if you read quite that many books, but that's how many books all of us checked out from the library. That's a lot of books. You read a lot of books, didn't you?
Yeah.
What were some of the books that you really enjoyed this year?
Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Alice Through the Looking Glass.
An Illustrated History of the Titanic.
And you read Alice in Wonderland too.
Yeah. And The Complete Peanuts. And books about optical illusions and
a lot of different stuff, right?
Yeah.
You read a lot of poetry this year, didn't you?
Poetry?
Poetry books.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who were some of your favorite poets?
Jeff Fiddlerski and Shel Silverstein.
In fact, we did a whole thing about nonsense verse, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
So who all did we talk about with that?
Lewis Carroll and Ogden Nash and
Edward Lear, remember?
oh yeah, and Edward Lear.
One of your favorite people reading this year was Roald Dahl, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite Roald Dahl books?
Some that I read. The BFG.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Any other ones that you particularly remember liking?
The Great Glass Elevator.
Well, that's right. The Wake Reads Together program, the theme was chocolate, and you read Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory as part of the children's program, didn't you?
Yes.
And you did the book club at the library too this year for the first time, didn't you?
Yes.
And we did Poem in the Pocket Day for the first time this year, didn't we?
Yes.
And what poem did you choose for Poem in the Pocket Day?
Jabberwocky.
Jabberwocky. Can you read it for us now?
Jabberwocky. 'Twas Brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. Oh, mimsy were the borogoves and the monmouths outgrave. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the claws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jujube bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his purple sword in hand, long the maxim full he saw. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as unfinished thought he stood, the jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tugly wood, and burrowed as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through and through the verbal blade went snicker-snack. He left it then, and off with its head he went galloping back. And hast thou slain the jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, Frab, just stay, calloo, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble at the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the monmouths outgrave.
How about in writing? What did you do in writing this year?
I did a lot of classes.
You did some classes in Learning Arbor about writing, didn't you?
Yes.
Can you tell me about them?
I did a class on how to write a story, and I did a class on how to write a newspaper.
That's right. The first one was called Story Kitchen, wasn't it?
Yes.
And what kind of things did you talk about in there?
She talked about how to develop characters and how to tell good words.
Right, using strong verbs and things like that. And also about developing a setting, right?
Yeah.
And what was the journalism class called?
Extra, extra.
And what did you learn in that class?
I learned how to write a headline and lead articles, and I learned how to do a good staff producing this.
Because you all actually did a newspaper, didn't you?
Yes.
What story did you write for the newspaper?
National Poetry Month. And Poem in Your Pocket Day is a day in National Poetry Month, right?
Mm-hmm. And they put your story at the very front of the newspaper. Yours was the lead story, wasn't it?
It depends on where you started at the newspaper.
Well, it was the front page story, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So that was really good.